For years, there's been a quiet question following Meghan and Harry, not shouted by journalists, not written in headlines, but carried in the pause before every interview. Why did they really leave? The world has heard the official answers: pressure, media intrusion, a desire for privacy. But behind those explanations, there's a sense that something else sat in the room with them, something unspoken. Even during their earliest appearances as a married couple, there was a hesitation in their eyes, like they were present in the moment, but already aware of a future they hadn't yet chosen. People noticed it. Some called it nerves. Others said it was adjustment. Yet the feeling persisted, a sense of weight that didn't belong to newlyweds. And lately, sources close to the couple suggest that Harry began opening up about that weight. Not through confessions, not through dramatic statements, but through quiet conversations, moments when the cameras were off and the audience had gone home. Those close to the palace say it wasn't just pressure from the press, it was a form of internal strain, something more personal, something that traced back to family expectations, unwritten rules, and decisions made in rooms where cameras never enter. This is where our story begins, not with headlines, not with statements, but with silence. A silence that followed them long before they ever stepped away from royal life, and may explain why they finally did. Before their departure became global news, the clues were already visible. Subtle gestures, brief silences, a look exchanged when certain topics were mentioned. During their first royal tour, Meghan stood beside Harry with grace and poise, but there were moments when her eyes wandered, not in distraction, but in calculation, as if she was measuring the room, the cameras, the words being spoken around her. Observers noticed Harry's posture during official visits. At times, he appeared alert, even protective, especially when Meghan was asked about her adjustment to royal life. His answers were polite, his tone controlled, but his expression suggested a different conversation happening privately, one far removed from the microphones. Even during major public events, the warmth felt slightly distant, not absent, but restrained, as though they were following a script written long before they arrived, and deviating from it was not an option. Insiders later claimed that the couple had already sensed their path was narrowing, that some choices were being made for them rather than with them.
Every royal appearance comes with choreography: where to stand, when to smile, how long to wave. But what can't be choreographed is instinct. And instinct was whispering to them, quietly but persistently, pay attention. It wasn't rebellion, it wasn't bitterness, it was awareness. And awareness, when left unspoken, eventually becomes something else: pressure. According to those who've known Harry the longest, his turning point wasn't sudden. It came slowly, through private discussions, late-night reflection, and the realization that the role he had inherited no longer aligned with the life he hoped to build. Friends say he never spoke with anger, but with complication. Not resentment, but concern. He allegedly described moments when he felt history closing in around them. Decisions made long before their arrival seemed to shape every step forward. Meghan, he felt, had entered a world already written, and the script left little room for her voice. Harry reportedly admitted that the palace's expectations weren't spoken directly, but lived through silence, routine, and protocol. Rules that never appear on paper, but are felt in every glance. Sources claim Harry quietly questioned one thing: if tradition protects the monarchy, who protects the people inside it? That question, once formed, lingered, and Meghan felt its echo as well, not through dramatic scenes, but through quiet realizations. A pause before answering, a hesitation before attending, uncertainty before speaking freely. Those closest to them describe an atmosphere of caution. Not danger, just a growing awareness that life inside the institution had begun to feel less like duty and more like distance. Distance from their own instincts, distance from their own story. And that, they say, is when everything started to shift. What finally pushed them to leave wasn't a single conversation, it was accumulation, a quiet build of moments that no longer felt right. Meghan, sources say, carried her strength with dignity, but in the quieter hours, she carried uncertainty too. Harry saw it, and for the first time, he began to wonder whether protecting the institution meant abandoning the person he loved. According to insiders, one private moment stays with him, a moment of tears, not from conflict, but from exhaustion, not from blame, but from feeling unheard. That, reportedly, was when Harry's choice became clear. Not rebellion, not defiance, just a decision guided by something very simple. Love needs space to breathe. Their departure wasn't an escape. It was a decision to begin again somewhere their voices could exist without permission, to write their own script, not follow one written generations ago. Today, they live with questions still surrounding them, but for the first time, those questions are their own. And perhaps that's the real story. Sometimes stepping away from a legacy isn't running from the past, it's choosing a future.